Hey guys, it's Chris here again, the RFS Insider. In this video, we're going to be giving you some more information about the Leads tab in the backend system of the reverse funnel. In the first video, we gave you a brief overview of the entire backend website itself and just touched on all the different aspects of the site and got you more familiar with what's available to you when you do sign up for the reverse funnel system. So in this video, we're going to be specifically focusing on the Leads tab up here in the main browser menu. So we're going to just go right ahead and get started. If you mouse over the Leads tab, you're going to get up some pop-up menus here, and what you're going to see is a list of items that you can click on that will take you to different sections of the website. Now, the first section is called Unsubscribed Leads. This is where anybody that had signed up with you initially into your funnel and for some whatever reason decides that they don't want to be in the system anymore, or you decided that you didn't want them in the system and you removed them, then this is where they would be in the course of the overall system. So this will tell you who left the funnel. And this is pretty good because you can see if people do leave, they may come back later, or they may never hear from them again. But either way, it's good to keep this list and look over them and make sure that you're keeping in touch with people who maybe were just on the bubble about it, and you may need to give them an email or even a call if you would like to get them back into the system. The next tab here is called Bounced Leads, and this will be for people who put in bogus email addresses, and really it's not going to do you much good. So it is there just so you can keep track of it. Maybe something else happened, server issues, you never know. But Bounced Leads, they're going to be right here. So now the next four items here are the crux of the reverse funnel system. These are the four steps in the funnel that a lead goes through before they finally become a member of RFS. The first tab here is your RFS opt-in leads. Now your RFS opt-in leads are individuals who put in their name and email address in the very first opt-in box that they would see. Most likely it was the one with Ty sitting on the lounger in Hawaii with his MacBook Pro. Most of the time people are going to enter into this, or they may have entered it into somebody else's website. But this is the first step in the reverse funnel process. So right here you'll get to see all the email addresses of individuals who have opted in, and they're sitting there waiting for the next step in the funnel. Now the best thing about this is the system keeps track of an individual lead throughout the entire course of the funnel. So once they opt in, their email sits in the RFS opt-in leads section. But then when they get sent to the next section, which is the RFS $50 lead, which is the funded proposal, which is the next step, then the email no longer will show up in the opt-in leads because they moved on to the next step. And they paid the $50 to get more information, and they're proving that they're serious about this business and they want to know what you have to say. So once they end up here, they've paid their $50, they're moved through the funnel, and that's a huge step, because what that means is you just made commission off of this person with the funded proposal. So the $50 lead, you're going to get a percentage of that. They're a serious individual. So now their email address sits in this section. The next step in the funnel is the RFS surveyed leads. Once the lead actually fills out the business survey, then they're going to be moved from the RFS $50 leads section to the RFS surveyed leads. So now the email address no longer shows up in either one of these two categories, but they're going to show up here because they filled out their survey, the application has been processed, and they're sitting there, waiting for the next step. And this is the point where I would definitely recommend you talking to your lead, or maybe just sending them an email, getting a feel for what their plans are for the reverse funnel system. So once they've done that, then they're going to get their access code and login information to visit the product page. And once they move to that step, this is where the final portion of the RFS system comes into play. And for whatever reason, if they spend more than a few days in the RFS survey leads section, you may want to resend them the link to access the product page, because something may have happened with their email, or they may have accidentally deleted it, or haven't checked their email in a while. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you send them another email at this point, just to make sure they did get their login information and code to access the product page. But once the lead makes it to the product page, this is the last step in the RFS in the system, and this is where they would actually put in their credit card information and purchase the Platinum membership, and boom, you make a sale. So if they're hanging out in this section for a day or two, I would say you need to get a hold of them, ASAP, just to let them know that you're an actual person and this is a real system, and just create that first contact right there, if you haven't talked to them already in the RFS surveyed leads section. So once they've entered their credit card information, the order gets processed, you enter them into the system, then boom, they're moved to the product orders and they're officially under your team, they will now show up under my team, and that's it. You just walk through the entire system of the reverse funnel. And that's the powerful part about this, is because if you were to try to keep track of all these leads on your own, it would be a nightmare. Let me tell you, it's not that simple. And what they've done here with the RFS system of keeping track of everyone throughout the process of the reverse funnel is just phenomenal. And everyone should be grateful that they gave us this level of tracking to be able to follow our leads all the way through the system. And the best part about this, if you're not the kind of person that likes to be as hands-on, you can just sit back and watch them go through this system, because the reverse funnel was set up to be a automated system. Take the human interaction out, because it's not necessary for this individual case. So you can just sit back and let the system do its thing, and you could just follow somebody from the beginning all the way through till they buy that Platinum product and they become part of your team, and you may never have spoken with them. They may be convinced enough. You may not have to talk to them. They may be, they may realize how good of an opportunity this really is. Like many other people have, they see this opportunity and they just jump at it. They don't need convincing, because they understand the power of this system. They don't need the little pat on the butt, or the holding the hand, because they understand that this is a real system that works and that they're going to succeed with it. So, but pretty much, if you're looking for all the information about the leads throughout the process, this is the section that you'll be able to find that in. So hopefully that cleared everything up about the leads section. In the next video, we're going to be looking at stats, and then every video after that will continue going down until we've covered each tab in the main header of the reverse funnel system backend website. See you guys in the next video. Bye.